We're going to be talking about this book, Book 2, Sunstone, written by Stefan Sajak. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, amazing book. I gave it a 5 star. 5 star, 5 star, 5 out of 5. It's an amazing story. So that's volume 2 in the middle. You'll see Alley Cat on there. Book 1, you're going to have Lisa. And then book 3, there's just going to be the arm setup. Now, book 3 is going to be a little bit different because you're going to meet some characters inside this, like Alan and some other characters. Um, and it's going to be mostly about them. He tells you that at the end of the story, when you get to the extras, he tells you about how he was writing the story and what it leads into. But this, so spoilers, I don't even know if this video is going to even matter now, but if you want to follow me still, you can follow me on YouTube. I used to make them on YouTube. I came to TikTok, it's just a lot easier. But I guess I'll be going back to YouTube. I don't know. We'll see what happens to TikTok. But anyway, Allie Cat is on book 2. So book 1, a little bit of spoilers. Book 1, they find each other. I already did a book review on book 1, but they find each other right on online through a BDSM site. They've been talking to each other for a while, and then they decide they want to meet. They end up meeting, and they get into this BDSM. It's their first relationship as lesbians. Neither of them been with another woman before, and it's kind of their first experience with BDSM. Kind of, because Alley Cat has to this. Alley Cat being her on book 2, Lisa being her on book 1. Now Lisa's going to be your main um, narrator, because what I do enjoy about this story, it's not just about the BDSM. It's more about the relationship between these two. But what I do enjoy about this is how she's narrating it. She's also a whoa, that was a little loud on my side. She's also a book writer. So she's writing a book in the middle of this, and she's telling the story while writing the book, and you're reading her story while you're reading this book, but you're also reading her narration. So it's interesting. It's interesting how it's done. I really enjoyed this how it was done. But so you got Lisa, who is basically the main story is her telling it. So and then of course you got Ellie Cat. So you got these two. They meet each other online. First time, like I said. Now she's been with Alan, who you'll find out her best friend, who she used to date, and she got into the BDSM with him, and she brings her into it once they meet. As in the Crimson, they go to the Crimson. There's kind of more to it, the bar and stuff that you'll see. But they also meet another character Anne, who is a tattoo artist, but really is interested in this BDSM thing, and she's bisexual. So the fact of these two getting together, she's kind of into it. You're also going to meet another character. Um, Dang, I forget what her name is. Um, but she works with her at the restaurant, and you'll find out more about her, which is interesting. But Anne is a main character in this that you'll learn. So, like I said, a little bit of a spoiler. They do Anne causes the problem, although it's not Anne's fault. Anne doesn't cause the problem. Anne is just interested. But there's a jealousy in this because you have two characters that kind of just might. They're both first time being lesbians, first time really getting into this BDSM thing, especially with women. Obviously, Alec has the dom. Lisa over there is the sub. But they start to get a little jealousy, bringing Anne into it, even though Anne's not even not in. They haven't done nothing with Anne. She just went out with them to this bar. But it just caused some jealousy. Which this is what I really like about this is because this is like real life, real relationship stuff that could happen, especially getting into stuff like this. If anybody ever got into it, jealousy. So the jealousy comes up, and that's where book 2 kind of takes over with this. Getting back together, trying to figure out how to get back together, trying to figure out how to make this work, and that's where Lisa really is starting to write a book, write a story, because she also writes the stories online. She does like smut writing online. So you go through that whole journey, and I just think for him saying that he did this on um, um, at a writer's block where he couldn't think of what to do, and he just started drawing some characters, and the characters leaned into getting names, and then the names turned into a storylines and background. Excuse me, and all that. It turned out to be a great story, and like I said, it pretty much finalizes here in book two. Book three is going to get into more of the other characters, but it's just an amazing story. I thought it was a great story, great romance story, great relationship story, great love story. Um, and it don't even lean on the BDSM as much as you think it would, just by judging off the covers. Now, obviously, it does show some BDSM stuff in here. It does show some sexual stuff in here, explicit stuff in here. But it's not like that's all it is based on. It's based on this relationship between her and Ellie. And then, of course, you'll lean into the relationship on Anne and Alan. But what a great story. Also, this is in the same universe, Swing, and I talked about that one before, too, and that was a good story, too. But yeah, if you haven't read this and you kind of want a romance comic or a relationship comic or a love story that has some BDSM in it, because this one does, or this has some sexual explicit content in it. Um, but mainly it's just about the love story between these two that I found like a really, really good, heartfelt story. And that's why I give it a 5 stars. I think he wrote this really well and wrote the connection really well between these two. And it turned out to be an amazing story. So, and this is Image Comics. So, I would suggest if you haven't picked it up, pick it up. These ones are kind of harder to find now because this is a little bit older of a story. So I don't think you can just get it. But anyway, like I said, hopefully TikTok comes back. But if it don't, I'm on YouTube if you care to watch my reviews. So, and I'm also on that lemon, whatever. I don't even know if I'll do that, but I'm on there too. So, peace. See you guys on the next one. Pick this up, Sunstone. Book 1, Book 2, and Book 3, Image Comics. See you on the next one. Peace.